Okay, so yeah, now we're gonna start actually building the keyboard. So bring over the two halves here. Gonna remove the base. So, and what you want to do is you want to get your switches, and then stick them all in the same direction. So in this case, I am gonna go like facing down. So yeah, like this way, you know. It shouldn't matter if you go this way or that way, but just make sure all of them are in one direction, because it'll be less confusing if you do that. So just kind of push them in, and after we do that, we'll also hot glue them in a little bit as well, so that they don't like flop around the place, you know. Also, before you do this, you probably want to check all of the switches. Now, because I pulled these from my ergodox, so as you can see, I'm going to be transplanting the keys or the keycaps and the switches from my ergodox into here. I already know that they all work. Well, I presume they all work because I haven't noticed any of them not working. So yeah, they're all fine in my end, but you would probably want to check yours, because it'll be a pain replacing them after. Since we're not like doing hot swap or anything, they're just like glued in pretty much. So yeah, I'll just pause the video while this is going on. Alright, there we go. So yeah, got them all stuck in. So if you're wondering, there will be 2 keys left if you're using an ergodox, since ergodox just has 2 more keys. Alright, so now that that's done, what you want to do is you want to turn them upside down. Then you want to hot glue kind of the edges. So when you're hot gluing, make sure you don't like hit the what you call it, the pins, because hot glue is not conductive. So yeah, so when you're hot gluing, you want to kind of target this sort of area here, and also don't do too much because it might prevent the switch from moving. So let me just move this out of the way for a second. Oh, Jesus. Right, so yeah, I'll do a few on camera and then I'll switch, or I'll pause the video. So yeah, just kind of want to lift it up like so. Okay, make sure the hot glue gun's actually working. Okay, what the fuck? Yeah, so you'll need a shit ton of hot glue for this project anyway, so make sure you come prepared. Alright, there we go. So yeah, just kind of a little bit on the sides, a little bit on the sides, just enough to kind of keep it in place, you know? Then just kind of go down the line, a little bit on the sides. Now last one is kind of tricky, but you should be able to manage it. Alright, the hot glue gun is fucking... So yeah, it's fairly quick, this procedure. Alright, so you get the picture by now. I'll just pause the video and get the two sides done, and then we'll come back. Alright, so once you got the whole thing glued in, you can let it dry for a few minutes and then peel off kind of the glue that's all over the place, you know, because it will get in the way later. And also, if you accidentally hit any of these pins with the hot glue, you can peel them off kind of with your finger, so it's not too bad. Yeah. All right, so yeah, I'll just go through this on both keyboards there. All right, so yeah, that looks good to me. And also make sure that you can actually press every button. So just in case the hot glue got into the system, you will probably want to open up the switch and remove the hot glue now, since now it's, you know, the easiest time. All right, so yeah, the next step is we're going to be soldering in our diodes that we prepared in the previous episode, or the previous video. Don't know why it's an episode, but yeah, so get your soldering iron prepped. Yeah, so for these, yeah, I'm just grabbing the keyboard that I made before for comparison. Right, so yeah, so I always soldered the diodes on the left side on both keyboards, and that seemed to work out just fine, so we'll continue with that. So yeah, the left side in this case is like the top pin. Yeah, so just like slide it in like that, you see, and we want them kind of, you know, directly horizontal. Yeah, and then there's a bit of a trick with the thumb cluster, so I will show it to you a second. All right, so the heat gun or the soldering iron looks like it's ready. So yeah, all you need to do is just wrap the pin. So like, for example, the switch is like this, and all you need to do is just wrap this like around here and then just solder it down, so it's, you know, fairly straightforward. So I'll just do the middle one here first to kind of show you guys how it looks like. Just grab your solder. All right, there we go. So yeah, fairly straightforward. Should look like this if you can see it. And that's it. So pro tip here is if you start with the hard edges, so like these here, they're a bit tricky to get into, but if you do those first, they won't get in the way of, you know, or these won't get in the way if you do them last. So always do like these edges kind of first, because they're the most tricky to do. So you could, where's that fucking thing? Yeah, there it is. So you could use one of these kind of pliers or something to help you along. I find that quite handy. So you can just make sure they're hooked on to the yoke. Like so. Yeah, that looks hooked on. Then just kind of go in there. Like so. Now make sure these are actually soldered on, because you don't want them to get loose later on. So yeah, make sure the connection is all good. And also you see here that the leg is like kind of what you call it, getting in the way. So what you want to do is you want to grab this thing, put it directly on the edge here, and then use your finger to pull it back, like so. So yeah, now you'll see that this is going, it's going to be going like directly across here. So for example, in this case, you would want to do the same thing. Just get your pliers and then with your finger, just move them down like so. All right. So yeah, I'll do all of these. So the 3 here, 4 here, 4 here, all of these here, and then I'll show you guys how to do the thumb cluster here, because there is kind of a trick you need to do with the thumb cluster. So we'll do that one last. Okay, so the trick with these 4 here at the bottom is we want to connect them all together basically. So what we're going to do is grab one of these. So yeah, this one would be about here, like so. So solder him in. Oh shit, he fell off. God damn it. Alright, there we go. So yeah, like that. And then the top one, we would kind of want him to go somewhere like this. So solder him in. Right, so yeah, don't know if you can see that down there, but yeah, so this one, just like that, one, just like that. And now for the bottom ones, well, first of all, get rid of the fucking hot glue that's on the pin. So yeah, get rid of that nicely. So yeah, this one will be pointing down like this. So yeah, actually not like that, kind of like sideways, like this, something like that. Yeah, that will work. So yeah, let me just do that here real quick. All right, great. And then the last one is going to be, yeah, I guess we can put him here like this as well. So sideways as well, just so that it's easier to manage. All right. So So yeah, you can see that. Now what we need to do is we need to make all of them connect to each other. So this one is already looking good. Of course, there's some glue in here. Let's get rid of that because it's gonna melt. Alright. So yeah, that one is looking good. This one we can turn him. Oh Christ, it's getting all over the place now. Yeah, anyway, this guy, we can bring him up a small bit. Then we can bring him sideways, like that. Then this guy, well, first off, we just can, okay, so yeah, this guy can bring him up. Like that, let go. And then bring him sideways all the way back, like that. So yeah, these three actually look pretty good. It's just this one that needs a bit of fiddling. Alright, so yeah, that looks good to me. Yeah, so the closer you can get them, the better, because there'll be less of a mess. So yeah, try and get them like as close as you can. So yeah, that's good enough. So now just get your soldering iron and then just solder a bunch here, like try to connect them all. Solder them across like this. Yes, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks good. Then you can get the cutter and just trim off the edges. Like so. So yeah, because this is essentially going to be one row. So yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, I left this side as well because on this side, what you want to do is you want to go the other way. So you want to go back this way. So let me just solder this guy in here. Like so. And then you want to connect it up to this guy here. So something like this. And obviously try to get them as close together as possible. So like you can lift the end of this up a little bit, push them down, lift the end of this a little bit so that they're like, you know, fairly close to each other. And once they're like this, you just need to run this thing sideways. And now they are fully connected, like so. And so yeah, you just want to do this for the rest of them. Going down. So yeah, it's fairly straightforward. That's kind of the only tricks. And so yeah, this will be all that we'll do for this video. Because the next one will be connecting up the rows. And that will be grand. Alright, so yeah, this one needs to be lifted up a little bit more. Alright, so it is a bit finicky, but it is what it is. Alright, that's close enough. They just need to be close enough for the solder to jump across, like so. Alright. try get them like as parallel with each other as you can, so that, you know, it looks a little bit nicer and easier to connect. All right. I can't even see what I'm doing here. Okay. Yeah, sometimes if there's a bit of fucking hot glue in the way, just kind of burn it off. Make sure you clean off the soldering iron as well after it, because it won't stick as well, or it won't melt as well. All right. So yeah, this one's already like nicely prepped, so I just need to align this one. Yeah, that is pretty good. Go on down a bit. Oh, yeah, that is fucking spot on. Holy shit. That looks exactly like one line. Alright, maybe not. Should be alright. A bit thick, but it'll work just fine. Alright, so yeah, the bottom one is going to be a little bit more tricky, but should be alright. So yeah, I presume it's about there. Slot it in. Okay, maybe give it a little bit of a rotation. Shite. Okay, something like that. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty bad, but it's good enough. Right, just try and fucking shove him in there. Come on, man. Get in. Okay, there we go. Alright, so these are actually pretty much aligned already, so that's pretty handy. Can just fucking solder them in. Alright, great. So yeah, there we go. Now last thing, what you want to do is you want to kind of trim all of these. So use your thing and then just kind of trim it across like that. So just make sure that you know, they're not too big, because we will be going over them with the wire. So it's just so that they don't get in the way more than anything else. It should be fairly quick to do this. So yeah, I'll just pause the video here. Alright, so yeah, this is how they should look like now that they're all trimmed and stuff like that. So yeah, that looks great. And you also want to do the same thing on the other side. So yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah. So yeah, we'll continue on in the next video.